Don't get me wrong, he's a really good player, deserves a good team, but attitude-wise, he just doesn't fit in with us. I don't want to say.
You're squeezing one out. Seriously. Catch it, lift it up, have a look at it, and then show the camera the label.
Yeah.
Or make sure the camera is looking at the label.
Yeah.
Right, okay, go.
What if we never get this GFUEL affiliation?
You could definitely say we're trying to take it to the next level.
Perfect.
With the recent partnership of GFUEL Energy, we kind of took the AM scene by surprise, I would say. Nobody was really expecting us to be able to get such a large company within such a short amount of time, and it's safe to say that people within the organisation were also just as surprised as to how we managed to do it.
So it was a really big step for Team Descend getting GFUEL, because no one really truly believed in it actually coming true and happening. Like, I still remember what was said in the Team Descend chat when it happened, and we're like, guys, it's done. We were all overwhelmed, full of joy, everyone was excited. And going forward with that, we want to use the media outlet that we've created and examples that we've used for GFUEL for other products and other stuff like that in the future.
Because nobody was really expecting for the entire deal to pull through, but obviously with what we were doing and how we were approaching the actual company as an organisation, there was no doubt that we had the potential to obviously grab them as a partner.
And besides Riot Gaming, I don't think there's any other small EU organisations that have this. So it's really cool to be, you know, part of such a prestigious company and like a company that everyone knows within gaming. So we're really happy with that, and use code TD.
So in the past few months, we've acquired two new owners to Team Descend, one being Reese, or IHNK, and the other one being Liam, as Excite. Previously, these were owners of two other organisations, Odin and Cryptic Gaming. And since obviously the shutting down of them two organisations, they have come over to TD and helped obviously myself and Ali and Jay with the behind the scenes work and the foundations of Descend. How this went about, realistically, to begin with, for Liam, after meeting at I-59, he approached me after the event and he rang me up and he was interested in Team Descend. And at first I thought he was joking around because obviously he had Own and everything, but he was saying that he just wasn't getting the help he needed and that he seriously saw a potential in Descend.
I joined Descend because of the reason that when I first met everybody at I-59, the whole crew seemed like a family and seemed like there was a lot together, and the work that was going on behind the scenes also in Team Descend seemed absolutely massive and was a great opportunity for me myself. Having my own organisation such as Odin was fantastic and I enjoyed it, but sometimes it felt as though we didn't have the staff there or there just wasn't enough help to do everything that we wanted. So moving to Team Descend and taking up a similar role gave me the ability to voice my own opinion and just help the organisation grow and grow.
In the same aspect with Reese, we saw that obviously he has a lot of experience. If anyone obviously doesn't know of Cryptic Gaming, the whole Team Tempo, he was an absolute asset if we were to be honest here.
So Reese joining Team Descend, or some of you may know him as IHNK or I Have No Kidneys, whatever way you want to look at him. I knew Reese for a long time, that's why I was really happy getting him in Team Descend. I knew him way back from Cryptic, from when he used to do small bits and pieces for X4TP. So I knew Reese a long time. So when the idea of picking up Reese came about, I was 100% for it. I was like, yep, I want him in yesterday. So me and Miller discussed the possibilities of it, you know, got into talks with him a little bit. He liked the idea, we liked the idea, so we went forward and did it. He's a really good fit for the management team. He's almost like that missing piece that we needed. Plus his meme game is just tier 1, if I'm quite honest.
I keep having to retake this now because in HD I don't look as beautiful, which is greatly disappointing to myself. But anyway, I actually approached Team Descend rather than them approach me, and I would like to think they didn't approach me because I was viewed as this die-hard Cryptic gaming guy. Now, we'd had a fair bit of success over at Cryptic. We had over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, plenty of Twitch followers, all that good shit. But unfortunately, I was doing a hell of a lot of the work, and it became too much for me to do, to be honest with you. It was a massive ball ache, and I recently got a new job, obviously after I graduated from uni in July. And I've been working 55-hour weeks and trying to run your organization pretty much single-handedly is tough. People were trying to help me out, but for whatever reason it wasn't working, and I was looking for somewhere where it was more of a team effort. And I have known about Team Descent now for about 6 months or so, I'd say, and I really liked what they were doing. I thought their branding was really clean. I loved their emphasis on the media side of things. Doing things like Level, which is amazing, but also like the videographers and the content creators, and just generally trying to do something different. Having an idea, sticking with it, and just running with it, and staying true to what you're about, I think is amazing. When it comes to where I can aid Team Descend the most, I think the answer is quite obvious in one respect. Now, my background is obviously with Call of Duty, with Team Tempo in particular, and obviously running a few tournaments and things which were greatly successful, as everyone knows.
But the future and the strengths for Team Descend, strength-wise, our team, management team-wise, is stacked. Everyone does their duties, everyone has a goal, everyone is driven, so literally all around, everyone is really happy with how things are going.
Where is the limit for Team Descend? There isn't one. That sounds incredibly cringy and a bit weird, but it's true. Everyone in this organisation works their absolute balls off. That's all you need to get somewhere, in my opinion. You need a strategy, you need a structure, and you need work ethic. And that's what we've got at the moment. We know what we're about, we know what we want to do, and we've got the people who can help us get there, whether it's management or whether it's our videographers or whether it's our streamers or whoever. You know, we all want the same thing, and we are all working our nuts off to get to that end goal. And ultimately, the limit will be set by ourselves. That's quite a nice position to be in.
If you were to see in episode 1 of Level, we featured our NACS roster. I'm sad to say that at this given point in time, but the team did unfortunately split and they are no longer with us. How this kind of unfolded was the fact that the team just slowly started to slip. Their playing hours reduced, they weren't talking as much, and unfortunately the communication was just a bit lackluster. And obviously this led to the folding of the actual CS team, which was a real shame because they had so much potential regardless of us obviously not doing much within the NA scene as an organisation.
So as you guys saw in our last episode of Level, our NA team was doing fairly well, but since then the team decided to split. They just couldn't find the last 5th player that could basically solidify the roster to take them to the next stage in NACS. Now the roster was fairly strong as a 4, but every time they found someone new, just a new issue occurred. So it was definitely for the best that they decided to split and go their separate ways. You know, Tag was amazing, Pacifist was amazing, it was great guys on that team. Pleasure to work with them, but unfortunately, you know, these things gotta happen, and I'm happy for them, and I'm happy that they made that decision. You know, I'm pretty sure individually, they all found new teams, and you know, they're doing really well for themselves now.
It was a shame to see the NA roster actually split. As a brand, we did everything we could have done to actually keep them together, but unfortunately some things you just can't keep a hold of. It was a real shame because they had so much potential as an actual squad, and I feel like they should have stuck together, especially with how their future was looking. But I know that individually, as people, they're all great, their personalities are wonderful, and we get along, and there is absolutely no bad feelings whatsoever with them as people.
But since then, we decided to pick up the ex-Odin roster. Because Liam joined us, he brought up the idea of picking up that roster because, you know, he was the owner of that organization. So that roster came about. They joined Team Descend. They competed under us at Epic Lan, and all I gotta say is Monster's just a beast right now.
Oh my god.
It's just happened.
What just happened?
Woo!
Literally, if you were to take anything away from that event, it's Monster and it's up, because that was just a pleasure to watch. But switching from NA to CS, NACS to UKCS, you know, it's a different ball game altogether. You know, at least our UK team is over the age of 18, because some of the players on the NA's team were under 18, and that kind of got an issue with like some LAN, some tournaments. You know, they did pretty well in an ED qualifier, but I'm pretty sure if they went to make it, they would have to make one roster change anyway. So that would have been irritating, but unfortunately, or fortunately, that never happened, so that we never had to come across that. But this team, they're obviously competing at LAN, they're all over the age of 18. They're going to be competing at I-60, and I'm really excited to see how they place.
The team itself consists of Monster, DM God, Kai, Shabo, and our newest member, Yo. The core sort of 3 or 4 of them have been together for well over a year and a half, been playing together for a long time. I've known the team just over a year now. You know, I was with them when we were under Odin, and obviously I'm still with them now. So recently, or well, within the last couple of months, we've been playing in a couple of qualifiers. We played in the UK Masters qualifier and the UK ESL UK Premiership qualifier. They didn't go so well. We had a bit of a bumpy road on them. Probably didn't perform quite as well as we could do now. Basically, we picked up 2 new players at the start of the year. So our first, well, we trialled one of the players, and we had to play the qualifier as the trial, which was just, yeah, it's never going to work against teams that have been playing together, practicing together. So that's probably why we didn't do so well in those qualifiers. We're hoping next season to qualify for them, because right now, you know, we've had the team, we've been practicing. We've been playing together quite a long time, so it's all looking good from now on. Currently we're in the ESEA EU Intermediate League. We've had a mixed performance there, some wins, some losses, but as expected, you know, we got promoted at the end of last season. You know, we didn't quite know what to expect going into this league, but you know, we're still hoping to make the playoffs and probably, you know, do some damage over there, so that's looking pretty good too. As you're probably all aware, in February, Team Descend sent away 3 different teams to 3 different events in the space of one weekend. I'm going to tell you about my weekend, which was with the Counter-Strike team at Epic Lan, Epic 20. We had a really good group when we got there. We were very happy with the teams that we had. With regards to the group stage, it was all pretty easy. I mean, we played the first game, which was against a team called Hidden, who we've played before, and I think we lost against them before last time we played them. So we were like, you know, we'll give it another go, and we smashed them 16-4. So it just goes to show how much we've improved in the sort of 6 months since we last played them. But yeah, it was a really good game. Everyone performed really well. It was nice to warm up, get everyone going, get the blood pumping. You know, it wasn't too challenging for the first game of the day, but it wasn't easy. It just got people nice and crisp, made sure everyone knew what they were doing, which was really good. Our next game was against Viperio, who, as a roster, I don't think we've ever lost against one of their rosters. So, you know, we had that to bear in mind.
All out towards Monster, all towards Icy, a man who was solid in the past. Meanwhile, the M-God is just going to be tapping heads left, right and centre, mowing them down. This is a bloodbath. The CT side, they get away with it unscathed.
The M-God and Kai, and even Icy. Look at that great teamwork coming in from the Descent. Shabo with the great Molotov.
They're very aggressive. He's got pistols, rifles, all a big mix. Sharp lands some beautiful shots. He's got a rifle there to help him. These pistols, these UMPs.
Now Monster pushing with the AWP up for the triple. Gonna get that Molotov out towards water area. Spots him out. I don't think Styx knows. He may have heard it. There's the defuse kit on Monster, so he's still got time. He's gonna go close range with the AWP. Try to no-scope it. Jumps into him, and that's his second no-scope so far. That is gonna be his 6th round at the Descent. Just about be able to get. I think he's just got him. He's just being on the verge of taking this match.
Yeah, I think at this point there's not too much to say. I can already see a few interesting faces spread around the room as this match is going to be done and dusted. 16-9 Descend, we'll take this one.
Yeah, it was a great game. Really good fun to play against those guys. The third and fourth game of the day was against Proficiency HQ and Weetamix. Some players that we know, but not really teams that we play against. And both those games finished 16-9 and 16-8. So you know, it's fairly consistent throughout the day how we were doing. Exclude the game against Hidden. And yeah, we were sort of ready for this final game of the group stage. We've won all our games so far, which is against Chrome Gaming. Now, the Chrome Gaming roster was the ex-Bulldog roster who knocked us out at last Epic, so we really wanted to come back and actually beat them and not get knocked down by them. And we did. We won 16-12. It was an intense game. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure, but yeah, it wasn't a hard game. I think what we took away from that group stage was, we got 5 wins, 0 losses, and none of the games were actually challenging. Like I say, the last game was intense, but none of the lads felt like they were having to go out of their way to make sure that we won. We weren't having to try really hard. After we finished our groups, we were told that we had to play the first round of the upper bracket, which is best of 3. At this point, we're pretty tired, but whatever, we'll play it. And we were playing against Project X, who we've played against them before, or some of their players before, and we won that. We won the first map, their map, on Dust 2, and then lost to them on Nuke and Train, which sucked. But we were tired. People getting tired. These things do happen. We won't let it happen again for sure. And then we actually had to play the lower bracket, and we were a bit disappointed to find out that we had to play the lower bracket. That night after another best of 3, and we've been playing for sort of 12-13 hours straight at this point, and we had to play another best of 3, so that was a bit stressful. We would have much preferred to leave it till the morning to play, but apparently we weren't allowed, so that happened, and and we lost that one 2-0 because, well, I think people were just really tired. People weren't hitting their shots. Little mistakes were happening. Things that you would expect not to happen or would never happen under normal circumstances started happening. People were falling asleep, and we got knocked out, which was unfortunate. But yeah, I think we had a good run up until those then. Anyway. What to take away from the weekend? I would say that we need to. Well, obviously, we've been training a lot recently. We're getting ready for our series, which is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting the whole team, or meeting the rest of the Team Descend, I should say, and obviously watching the lads perform, which they will. We're working on finding ways that are going to allow us to not be so tired when it comes to playing the more important games. So when it gets to the best of 3s and the brackets, and we've already played a full day of group games, we're looking at ways to sort of fix that so we're not making mistakes, so we can still beat these teams that we would normally beat under any other circumstances. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit about me and my weekends and the Counter-Strike team. If you go into our series, I'm sure I'll see you there, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the show. I'll see you on the next level.
Qualification for Worlds is very important for me and my team. We want to qualify, obviously. We want to do it by winning the event also. We don't just want to place top 2.
If we don't qualify, it's a whole year of practicing just for nothing, so it means a lot.
Pretty much everyone's main goal, get to Worlds, get to Worlds, get to Worlds. It was the same thing last year, it's the same thing this year for me.
So when the option came up to pick up a Halo team, I took it with both arms easily. I got into gaming from Halo back in like Halo 2, Halo 3 with an Xbox 360. So when someone said to me, yo, we can pick up this Halo team and compete at the London qualifiers for the Halo World Championships, I was like, yes, 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 double yes. So I was really excited. The roster that we went with was Desire, To Be Godly, Snailed It, and Blightly.
Hey guys, I'm Snailed. I'm part of our Halo roster at the moment that we've just now come a part of with the org with Descend. I'm one of the main key players at the moment to obviously bring in the role of our slaying abilities within our Halo roster. We've got me, which is Snailed It. I'm Lewis. We have Dylan, which is Desire. Nick, which is To Be Godly, and then Chris, which is V-Blight. We've came together quite recently, to be fair. We're quite a new, fresh team. And after how well we performed after playing only 3 games before going to LAN, we decided to stick together and sort of play it out. So we're going to be waiting to hear about what's coming up next when it comes to LANs and venues and events before we decide to obviously go any further with that. But we're going to be sticking strong with Descend.
Now, my expectations for the team weren't that high because they've been teaming for 6 days before the LAN event itself. So I was hoping they didn't get rounded or, you know, they didn't make a fool of themselves. But honestly, they surprised a lot of people, and I'm really, really impressed by them.
We got quite fortunate, to be fair. First round that we came against was Cambridge. A lot of the lads that we know from previous events, me, myself, quite friendly with most of the boys on that team. But we had it straight away before we even knew that we were going to roll up against them. We knew we'd try to 3-0 them at least. The game that we lost, we absolutely slayed them by 60 kills, 70 kills. And we just got a little bit too confident with that map and we ended up dropping that game and for that. But we managed to close the series out by smashing the 3-0 or 3-1 towards the end of that series. So, but it was good.
But round 2, we played Team Menace, and this was the trilogy for our run at the GFUEL event. So basically, we got reverse sweeps to put the title on it, but that doesn't tell the story. We started off 2-0, very, very strong. But then, unfortunately, you know, Menace, they just clutched up, to say the least. You know, they kept their composure, so fair play to them at least.
We ended up getting 3-2 reverse sweeped, which wasn't something we really wanted, considering we were so dominant in what we were doing. That third game that we had in the grasp of our hands, we lost because we didn't pick up the overshield at the right times and we lost the camo. So it was a bit upsetting, but you learn from your mistake. Going into that game, to be honest, I know what Turk's like. I played against him when we were at R57 and we knew we had that straight away. Me, myself, I played really well. I thought that day, I think it was a Saturday that we played on, I smashed a running right in the first game we played against them boys. And same with Dylan, Nick and Chris. They all went off in their key moments that obviously you don't really notice unless you're watching over. But it's nice to see because we're now starting to that point in the day, we were starting to support each other. We were starting to listen a little bit more. And it was good. It was teamwork. It was consistent as well. And we started to focus on the things that we knew we weren't very good at, because in this specific game that we were going against, we knew we had that team like wrapped up before we even started.
So the first round championship bracket, we actually played Team Infused. And to be honest, as we expected, you know, professional team under a professional organization. We would have, I think, some of the maps were pretty close, so we would have won 1 or 2 if we just clutched up some kills. But unfortunately, we lost 3-0. So that put us down into the loser bracket to play Fragment.
Breaking in, coming against Infused, obviously we lost that 3-0 as it would be clear to hear. Obviously, like I said before, we were learning off our mistakes and learning off how they play, because you don't get better unless you play the best. Then we moved on to playing Fragment into the round after that, and we knew they were a tough team. They were another well-practiced squad because they managed to have the time together and play consistent. We ended up going 2-up against them again, and we got reverse sweeped, which was really difficult for us boys to take in. Me individually, I played some of the best Halo I've ever played, and I'd easily say that I'd hold my hand up and say that we stood out as a squad and we shocked a lot of people, considering we weren't such a practice team. But all the boys, from my point of view, probably one of the best events I've played with, and it was the most fun and enjoyable with the boys that we were with. Everybody, like I said earlier, performed in the moments we needed them. Unfortunately, because we got to that point when the pressure kicked in again, that's when it sort of went downhill and we started to lose it again. So that's when we lost those 3 games on the bounce. But moving on from that, yet again, it was experience. It was first LAN for 2 of the other boys. Me and Nick, we've been to a few. Nick's one of the most experienced players on the squad. This was my 3rd LAN, so I was a little bit used to the pressure. The other boys, as well. It got to them. I understand that. That's fine, but you learn from it, and they have learned. And going into the next sort of events that we're looking forward to in the future with Descend, I think we'll absolutely breeze by. We just need to put the time in, put the effort in, and we're going to stick with Descend, because Descend have had our backs from the start. I know there was a lot of mishap and a lot of communication problems at the start and all the different things, but you had our backs, you supported us, you managed to get out those jerseys for us quick, you're willing to do all these things for us that we appreciate. So we want to stick with you guys, and we want to go in strong. So get your name out there for the next series that we play against whoever, and hopefully push towards the top 2 maybe next year in GFUEL.
Ultimate, unfortunately, it looks like it's caught inside the shield. Nothing will really come off the back of that one, but now they've got to win the fight all over again as everyone keeps respawning out here.
Nano boost available on Hope as well. Will he use it? Will he find a target? Oh, he did. I don't even know who that went on to, Derry. It's just too confusing in there. DCT picking up a couple of kills, but now this could be the time. Please, just coming back with this one. DCT has decided to go, you know what, tank time. There we go, they did it.
Hey guys, it's Taz here, the team captain for Descend Overwatch. I basically wanted to come on here today to speak a little bit about myself, the roster, and our intentions going forward this year. So to start, my name's Taz, or Ollie. I've been in eSports now for about 4 years. I've done a lot of different jobs within eSports, but I primarily now focus my time the last 6 months on the game Overwatch. Going on now into the team and the game itself, Overwatch, there's 3 types of roles within Overwatch. There's your support category, your tank category, and your DPS category. Starting off with the team in the support category, it is myself and Pirateer. In the tank category, we have Cyanide and Keys, and within the DPS roles, we have Trigger and Gobbles. So the team together, we've got some high intentions and high hopes going forward into the later parts of this year. Our first event being Insomnia 60, but hopefully we're going to get to meet a lot of the Team Descend staff and a few of the other teams repping the brand at the event. Lastly, guys, just want to say a massive thank you to the team over at Descend. They've just done a phenomenal job on their current standings, and we're really excited to be playing under them, get our streams underway, and get some great results for Team Descend. So for this, guys, I want to say a massive thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon.
Be yourself. I want more maps than just Arms than COD. You can add that in as well. Is it recording?
Yeah.
You start.
I'll
start. Alright. Hi.
I'm starting.
Okay.
Wait, what do you want us to say?
Just say
let me start. Just follow what I do. Alright. Hi. I'm Copley, Harry Copley. Alias is Copley. Player Team Descend COD.
We were staying in Paris to get away from your parents, and I thought, wow, if I could take this in a shot right now, I don't think that we could work this out on the terrace.
Alright, so last but not least, the third event of the weekend would have been ESWC, and I don't really know what to say about this one. Prior to ESWC, obviously, we had a few problems here and there with the roster. We picked up Copley, Hazard, and Swish looking for one. Ahead of the event, they picked up Riskwit, or Risky, however you would like to know him as, and obviously they started trialing him through and obviously starting to play with him on a consistent basis.
With Riskwit, we were under TD for, again, about a month.
It was only until about a week before the event that he turned around and he said, I don't have a passport, and we were like, what?
The final time was a week before the event, where apparently he didn't send off something because they didn't tell him, and then we couldn't go, and that's where we looked to go to with Elzo, Swish's friend, who plays under Radiant, and we went with him in the end. So we played with Elzo for four full series of half points and uplinks. Didn't touch S&D the whole time, and me and Haz knew of Elzo. We never played with him before, but we knew of him. And then Swish he's been friends like in IRL friends for him with like 10 plus years. So he was like, if Risky can't go, we're playing with Elzo. So that's kind of what we did. We played for the first 2 series we ever played with him. We were like, this is actually working really well. We can do things, and we were happy with like the way we were performing and thought we could perform this weekend.
If you want some views on the ESWC Snapchat, just put a selfie on me and copy.
That's my views, my money.
What? Right in the Copley just before.
I feel like Copley's a reality star and I'm just watching him. Like Copley. Shh, no paparazzi.
When we drew Millennium, we found out, I think it was on the Tuesday or Wednesday, we found out the bracket was released. We found we had Millennium. We were quite happy. We played them 4 or 5 times online. Like, we played them all the time online in scrims and stuff. And we were like, yeah, they're a good team, but we trade maps to them, etc. So we were So we were confident going into it. Unfortunately, we got told to start at 1 o'clock. Got to the event at 12:30 and we were told we're about to be forfeited. They'd been there for half an hour. We got 5 minutes warm up and then had to start. We weren't ready at all. I was like quiet as anything normally. It's not their fault, obviously. They were there an hour before we were meant to start. That's good for them, but unfortunate the way it worked out. I guess you can only, I wouldn't say we blame us, but it's just shit kind of the way it works out, really.
I'm gonna put my front. I want to be there for like 40 seconds. My shot was awful first map as well. So bad. I couldn't even see him on my screen when I died. It's so bad.
It's just you were like that.
How fucked are the cameras in the game? So bad. So bad. You ran on the corner, you couldn't even see me. I couldn't even see him. I was like, bruh. I can't believe that I hit his shield twice. And Elliot hit his shield once, so he had 3 bullets in his shield. Elliot put 3 bullets in it. He hit his shield once. We should have hit Zeke. As soon as I called him out like crate, well, no, because the guy crate I made 1 shot at the start of the round because I went to hit it. I made so fucking 1 shot. I should have all bombed it. We should have just bombed it. We need to get a couple of games under our belt and we'll start rolling.
Yeah, first game's always.
My shot was just ass. We've only got 2 rounds of losers today. I just don't like. I don't miss like losers round 1 and losers round 2. That's it.
But we never touched S&D for. I mean, even with Risk It when we played a couple of months ago, the only times we ever touched an S&D was 2Ks and PPs. So I don't think we played an S&D, not even as a team or individually. I don't think we touched an S&D for like weeks before the event. And S&D on this game is so inconsistent. You see teams just run around and win. It's just the way it works, but it's the way it was, and we unfortunately lost 6-4.
Nice, first play live now, play live. Massive kill. I've got your cave top. Come on, hey, you pushing it. What are you doing? Come on, give me a good spot. You. Come on.
Played Scorch Hardpoint, which again basically the only hardpoint we weren't good at was Breakout. The rest of them we were confident in, but it wasn't our best game mode. Swish didn't have a bad map in total. Unfortunately started slow, had 9 kills and then went on a 10 kill streak. So I think they were at 220 and we had about 120, so they were 100 points ahead. He went on a massive 10 kill streak. He pulled out an E-Red, went on a 10 kill streak, got streaks and everything. We started clawing back into it. Managed to get 2-pieced a lot because of a load of things that you say like, oh, if we did this we would have won, if we did this we would have won, but we didn't, we lost. But if I didn't have blast shield and had dexterity, I wouldn't have got 2-piece. We wouldn't have lost control of a different hill and things like that happened, which is a bit of a shitstorm. Knowing if we'd lost the S&D, me and Haz were like, if we win this S&D, we'll beat them on the uplink. Knowing our uplink was so much better than theirs, and generally most of the AM teams, but quite a lot, because we know how to play it and do it properly. But I knew retaliation previously when we played at Risk, it wasn't our best S&D map. I think Vezio King just fucking went off. We had like 16 kills or something, got a 1v4, which was the worst thing for us to happen. But they went, I think it was quite a close game the whole way through, which was quite alright. There was a few kills we should have got that we didn't. I could have used kinetic earlier in the series to get us ahead of the rounds. Instead of using it at 5-4 to go 5-5, I could have used it at 4-4 to take us into the lead, taking things like momentum and things like that. But Vezio King was just on form that map, and we couldn't really do much about it, I guess.
No way they fucked us up. What are they doing? Stop shooting him. Good play. Probably playing the smart play now. How they fucked that round. For what? Oh my god. Probably been turned off by again. Turn on again. I'm just shooting up. Zip it. Everyone zip it. Lightning does strike twice.
I'm a warm up for ages and we get so in the mood. And I was sorry, not supremacy, pulse. I was in the mood, I was screaming if I got a kill. That's how I play personally at an event. Yeah. I even do it online. I'll chat shit, although no one can hear me and stuff, I'll still chat shit online and stuff. And it showed it because the S&D did well, but S&D, when you don't play as a team, although this game it's not structured, but you still need stuff to work together. The last round we lost was, I won't get into it.
You need to be able to constantly trade the kills.
In the nicest way possible. I think he shot the guy at bomb with ammo. Swish should have at least hit the guy once, and then as he slid up I started shooting, got in the corner again. And whatever, it happens.
Yeah.
But
I mean, at least you're in a big mindset about it.
So unfortunately with Risk, we decided to let him go because skill-wise he was the player we needed, and he did the role that he filled and played the hill, etc. But in game and in his head, he didn't like to lose, which none of us do. No one wants to lose, but he'd get too agitated far too easily in our opinions, and it makes it doesn't just affect him, it'll affect the rest of us, especially me and Swish. We'll get so angry so easily because he won't be, mindset wise, he won't be there afterwards. So we're going to go LF1 and try and look for one person to fill the role that we need.
I've known Bill for ages. I've known him ever since probably I started the community. I like him as a person, but every time I seem to play with him, first couple of weeks is great, and then you get through that honeymoon period and you start to try and learn as a team. And if he doesn't want to, it feels like he doesn't want to learn. He just wants to win, which I respect. But if you're not losing, you're not learning. And he just doesn't want to do that. If you lose a map, it'll go off in a strop, and then when he goes off in a strop, I don't want to bother playing. I get back from work 9 hours and I just have to put up with that. It's just not what I want to do. He's a good player, but it's just his attitude and the fact that he couldn't get his password when I told him 2 months before. I just think it's a bit annoying, really. Just a bit disappointing, especially as I've known him for so long. I don't know if there was anything that he could have done about it, but I just think he should have got it sorted, so that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, bridging off of that, I think James is probably the most disappointed out of everybody because he knows Bill the best. Everyone on the team is absolutely wounded that we had to play with pickup on such short notice when see everything was very on and off. Sometimes it was totally fine, and the next day it was no way, and then 2 hours later it's, well, no, I can actually do this, and you know, it was all a bit iffy, and we kind of knew it, but I always thought because of how well James and Bill knew each other, they would come through regardless, because I just didn't think that you know, it would let him down, but unfortunately it did. So we've had to release him, and we're going to be looking for someone new and different.
So I-60 is in 2 months, which gives us a decent time to find one person, practice a lot, and get everything on full control. The main thing about this game is anyone can beat anyone. Like, you see Optic smashed FaZe 3-0 in the final, yet they almost lost to Epsilon, who you would say on paper is not the better team. So it's all about communication, teamwork and things in this game. Just finding that one person that would fit into our team and bring the right thing mentally that would make us like perform a lot better, because obviously the gun skill gap isn't like that much different even if you watch the pros, but it's just the person who will bring what we need mentally to the game, and communication wise is what we're looking for, and hopefully we'll find that. A lot of practice, be prepared, come into it. Obviously it's going to be a massive, again like this event, big open bracket. I don't think there's no NA teams there, but you still got good EU AM teams or pro teams who are like lower pro teams that you still have to play, and as long as we're ready for that and have good games with them, I don't think you can really complain as long as we don't get smashed about. So after a disappointing weekend here, we thought we could show up at least 2 teams, play the first game when we pulled Malel, thought we could beat them, heard we'd have Ghosted Group Blue after. We thought if we turn up we could cause an upset. We didn't. Scenarios like the whole timing thing, having to pick up Elzo, didn't go in our favour, but it is what it is. Moving on into I-60, we'll go LF1, try and find the person that we need. Obviously with Descend backing us, we're quite happy because they've helped us a lot with everything that's happened this event, and we're all happy with the management team and everyone in the organisation that's always helping us out.